Hi, welcome to your channel, Generous, Gracious, and Gallant. I'm your host, Dr. Mohar Ghosh, and I'm back today with another very inspirational story for all of you. The person I'm speaking to you about today is Biju Patnaik, ace aviator, aeronautical engineer, industrialist, diplomat, politician, who was honored by three countries, Indonesia, Russia, and India, for his daring exploits as an aviator. He later went on to have an illustrious career as a politician at the national level and as well as in his home state of Odisha. I'll be speaking more about him in the video and giving you more information about him. But before that, let me share with you a brief about the channel Generous, Gracious, and Gallant. I started this channel in May 2020, and in a short span of about 1 year, 6 months, we have got over 621 subscribers and 17,000 views. Our mission is to inspire the present and coming generations to live by the eternal human principles. These principles, such as honesty, integrity, loyalty, diversity, respect for womanhood, respect for elderly, are the only way in which success can be achieved. Living by these principles is the only sure shot way to success. I request all of you to please subscribe to the channel Generous, Gracious, and Gallant, and also share these inspirational stories on the channel with your friends and family, and also encourage them to subscribe to the channel. Coming back to our hero of this video, Mr. Biju Patnaik, who was an aeronautical engineer, aviator, industrialist, diplomat, and politician. He was born on 5th March 1916 in Cuttack to Mr. Lakshmi Narayan and Ashalata Patnaik. He joined the Revasho College and chose to drop out of college to train as a pilot. He first flew commercially and then went on to join the Royal Indian Air Force during World War II. He rose to be the head of the Air Transport Command of the Royal Indian Air Force. While serving in the Royal Indian Air Force under the British, he developed a keen interest in Indian politics and started using the military aircraft of the Royal Air Force to ferry Congress leaders from their hideouts to multiple meetings across the country to chart the freedom struggle movement and ensure impetus for it. He also used the aircraft, the Dakotas, to drop so-called subversive literature on Indian troops serving under British command. He was jailed by the British government for these activities. He also played post-independence a major role in the Kashmir conflict. When Kashmir was occupied by the intruders, he flew his DC-3 from Delhi to Srinagar airport with soldiers of the 1 Sikh regiment and dropped them at Srinagar airport. He was expecting to be fired at by the intruders, but they were not there at Srinagar airport, and therefore Biju Patnaik was able to land his Dakota aircraft at Srinagar airport and reinforce the Indian troops. During the Second World War, he also played an important role in supporting Russia against the Nazi invasion. Hitler was proving to be very difficult to defeat for the Russian government. The Russian troops were facing grave difficulties. Biju Patnaik flew in his Dakota aircraft and bombed Hitler's troops. He forced Hitler to retreat. For this action, he was given a honorary citizenship. He also played an important role in the Indonesian independence movement. Nehruji was very sympathetic to the Indonesian independence movement, and knowing that Biju Patnaik was an ace aviator, he requested Biju to fly into Indonesia, which was under Dutch command. Biju flew in his Dakota along with his wife, who was also an expert aviator, Gyanwati. Together, they dodged Dutch forces and guns, entered Indonesian airspace, landed at Jakarta, refueled using leftover fuel from Japanese aircraft supplies, and flew out taking resistance fighters such as Sultan and Sukarno with them to New Delhi, where they met Nehruji. He did this in his DC 47 Dakota. He reached India via Singapore on 24 July 1947. When Indonesia won her independence, he was given honorary citizenship and the highest award, Bhumi Putra. In 1995, during the 50th anniversary of the independence of Indonesia, he was given the highest national award, Bintang Jasa Utama. In 2015, the first female president of Indonesia, Megawati, who was president from 2001 to 2004, recounted how she was named by Biju Patnaik as Megawati, daughter of the clouds. An amazing aviator, aeronautical engineer who was honored by three nations, Indonesia, India, and Russia. He later went on to an illustrious political career. He became the CM of Odisha between 1990 to 1995 and between 1961 and 1963. He was the Minister of Steel and Mines between 1977 to 79 and 79 to 1980. He was a member of Parliament from 1977 and also at 1985. He was member of the Legislative Assembly of Odisha in 1946, 52 and 57. He died of cardiac respiratory failure on 17th April 1997. State mourning was declared at Indonesia, Russia, and India. He was wrapped in the national flag of all the three countries prior to his cremation. He left behind a legacy of patriotism which generation of Indians will follow. His heroism in World War II and his role in Indian independence, Indonesians' independence, and Russians' battle against Hitler's Nazi troops will go down in history. He said, "It is my dream in the 21st century of the state that I would have men and women who would put their interest of state before themselves. They would have pride and confidence in themselves. They will not be subversive to anybody, at the mercy of anybody except themselves. By their brains, intelligence, and capacity, they will recapture the history of Kalinga and the glory of Odisha state. Friends, Biju Patnaik, an aeronautical engineer, ace aviator, diplomat, politician, industrialist, who left a rich legacy behind him. Friends, I am sure you are inspired by these stories which I bring to you on your channel, Generous, Gracious, and Gallant. I once again request all of you to subscribe to the channel, Generous, Gracious, and Gallant, and also share these inspirational stories with your friends and family members. Encourage them to join our mission by subscribing to the channel. I'll be back soon with another very inspirational story on your favorite channel, Generous, Gracious, and Gallant. Till then, good luck, all the best, stay safe.